Hey yo, it's your boy Caleko. How y'all doing today? So I wanted to have more stuff. Okay, I did. I honestly I was looking right there because I figured that I did not turn the mic on. I figured I was still muted. So anyways, today I wanted to get more stuff posted inside of my Etsy store, but I did not get that done. But what I did get is I got a bunch of stuff windowed to show that it has to prove that it has color in it. Um and I put such a bad crink in my neck while doing that that I ended up taking a shower and doing a bunch of stretching and trying to make it to where I could move again. And I still wanted to get a video up for you guys because I planned on editing some of the kitten video and I planned on putting some of the stuff I had for sale and doing a little bit of a vlog today. And that didn't work out because of the amount of time I spent windowing and the crank I got in my neck. So more stuff is going up for sale in the store tomorrow. Um, I'm gonna post some single stones too, instead of just some lots of stones. Uh, Nothing but good stuff, nothing but stuff that's showing some color. You should absolutely be able to carve a gemstone out of it, unless you screw it up, which is totally possible to do. I mean, if you do something like take it and just put it on some lapidary wheels, like on my machine, then that'll totally happen and stuff. Hey James, hey D, how are you doing? How is everyone? Elbow cup. Apparently, I have maybe something messed up with the boy, there it goes. These cheap freaking remote thingamajigs I got. My wireless mice that I have, they're just not working the way I want them to. Where is everyone? Elbow says. James says great. D says great. Hey, so he says where is everyone? That must mean there's like a couple of people in the room. Let me see. It says 4 watching on here, but that might only mean 2. Nope, it says there's 4 in here. Hey, but I'm now one of those, so there should be 5 in the room. I'm going to put that down. I'm actually going to just dive right into the stone after I pretty much said what I said. Um, I have everything set up, I believe, to where the lighting should be good. I should be able to move this camera, which is right here. You guys can barely see it in shot right there. Uh, the shot is absolutely phenomenal. I'm so lucky in that I caught that. That's one reason I'm lucky. I'm so lucky in that when I positioned that thing, it ended up being perfect to get shots of all of the wheels on close up if I want them, and get shots of the carving station if I want them, and seem to be good angles. I haven't actually recorded with them yet. And part of the reason I haven't recorded with them instead of doing a live stream is that I have my hard drive's completely full of crazy Casboy stuff that I have not edited down yet. I've started to edit it down, and it gets me so frustrated that I stop editing it down. So I need to spend like 2 days and get that story edited and the whole story out, and just tell everybody, what happened and what I think is going on with that store and how they're treating their employees and all kinds of stuff, because it ends up being a much more convoluted, nefarious sort of story than just some guy gets kicked out because some other people that shop there don't like him. Like that's not the whole story of what's going on there at all by any means, and I really need to get on that. But recently, if something really just starts getting my goat and I just it starts to get me to where I rather want to go back to my old way of thinking of like kicking somebody's ass, then I just stop, back up, do something else. And so every time I go to edit that video, it's like trying to edit the video I made of all of the video I have of Chloe, from all the family's phones and stuff after she passed, or at least the amount of stuff I have now. It's like that, but instead of being crying, it's anger and frustration. D said, finally started carving on some more stones, and boy, do I have some beautiful ones. Well, of course you do, D. One, I sent you some, and then 2, you went out and did a private thing at Deer Creek, which I want to do that the next season. They're doing that, and have grub stakers for the channel and pass some of that stuff along. I definitely want to go and do that at Deer Creek. I talked to my buddy out at Slaughter Mountain a little bit. I told him I planned on heading out that way as soon as I could. I definitely need to rekindle that relationship. It's been a while since I've seen him. I've heard stuff from other people about other people and all kinds of stuff that I don't believe. So, it's always best when you can sit around the fire and have a drink with somebody, or just sit around the fire and talk with somebody and get, you know, reconnect with that person instead of hearing what other people say is going on with that person. Because, man, I tell you what, I don't want to take other people's word for anything, because I end up being one of those people that's really easy to lie about. So people do it all the time. It's horrible, but true. All right, I'm going to grab my drink, and I'm going to turn you guys onto the over the shoulder camera so you can see what I'm going to be carving on in that picture. Dinner time on the left coast. BRB Bandit, nice to meet you, Bandit. How you doing? All right. Get my water drip going. My camera angle should be close to right. Now, this is a stone I've actually worked on a little bit at some other time. I'm not sure exactly when. I'm not sure, but I have absolutely worked on this. I thought the color was going to run all over here. You can see that I worked it with some sort of a grit, but I knew there was color on top. So I just removed the hard chalcedony that was there. You can see a little bit of stippling in the agate. You can see that it's not like just the natural agate, that at some point that got hit by like, a grit, a hard grit. And one thing I noticed this time that I never noticed before is that there's a really nice little purple window right there. You can really see it. It's a beautiful little purple window. So when I was windowing stuff, I pulled this one out and I was like, hey, I'd already worked this one. Man, I want to carve that real quick and see if I can make it so much better, because to tell you the truth, I'm pretty sure that there's color right underneath this just waiting to be exposed, and this really came out underneath that bronze, so I'm positive there's more green underneath this little bronze nub right here. So if you have full on rough fire agate, the best way to do is to get it cleaned and then go ahead and carve the color out of it, and then figure out how you're going to shape your stone. You don't want to imagine what your stone is going to be like before you expose all the color, because it could go differently than you expect. So I'm just doing this little edge right here real quick, get through this bronze and expose a little bit more of that green that I'm absolutely sure is right underneath of it. And then after I do that, I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to expose the color that's on top of the stone. Ooh, also, for my people that carve, gemstones and fire agate, right now, go to Amazon. Go to your Amazon account, and there are quick release hand pieces for Dremels for $15 on Amazon with Amazon Prime shipping. Like, that's insane. I don't know if they've been sitting in Amazon's warehouse too long. And somebody needs to get them out of Amazon's warehouse before they get charged too much for them sitting there. But they're $15 per. So you can't beat that price. I was able to get a hanger for $7, and I bought 2 of the quick releases that are 330 seconds. So for $15, man, buy that thing now. Oh, I can't scroll back. Something about I don't have subtitles and you don't have sound, or I don't have sound. I should have sound, or else my people would already be telling me. James Welsh, can y'all can hear me, right? Somebody say yes, we hear you, Caleko. Yeah, I can't provide subtitles for a live stream. And I do put the subtitles on in the regular videos, but it's a guesstimate. Like the machine is guessing, what I say. So it gets it right most of the time, but a lot of times it likes to interject cuss words where I didn't say them, even though I use cuss words. Thank you very much, Just Debbie. How you doing, girl? Yes, we hear you. Yes, we hear you. Thank you, people. Thank you, D. Thank you, James. Really appreciate that. All right. Like I said, though, there are super savings right now on Amazon.com for hand pieces, quick release. They're $15. So that should be sold out by the end of this live stream. You guys should pick those up. I bought two. If I wasn't worried about finances, I probably would have bought every single one they had there just to put them in a box and sit on them, because for $15, that's $30 cheaper than the average cheapest price anywhere else normally. Normally, the cheapest price for one of those quick release hand tools for 330 seconds burrs is $45 plus shipping from gosh darn it, I know the website's name, but I'm not remembering it at the moment. So anyways, go save yourself some money for my little, what do we got in here? 3, 4, 5 people. You people got the hook up. Debbie, did you get the virus, or did you just get a different kind of sickness? And we're so glad that you're better. One of our viewers has had a bad car accident last night, and apparently they've been burned. So I actually don't know what his handle is on YouTube. I only know his name from personally dealing with him. He's been an angel to the channel. He was the direct reason that I have this fire agate right here. Part of the direct reason that I have this fire agate. He is the person that purchased $2,000 box of fire agate when I was out at the Opal Hill fire agate mine, and he purchased that box when I really needed it, and his purchase made it possible for me to get the off-road vehicle that I had out there. And that off-road vehicle made it to where I could dig and get the gemstones that I got while I was out there. So, if you're one of those thoughts and prayers people, then go ahead and put Sean in your prayers. Because as far as the channel's concerned, he's a really good friend of the channel. I didn't talk to him either. I sent him a text message because me and him were having phone calls the night before. We had a phone call for like an hour and a half, and then I sent him a text message today about what we had been talking about the day before, and I got a text message back saying that he had been in an accident and that they didn't know how he was yet. And then I got a couple of more text messages over time saying that he had been burned and that there's still no word, but they do know that he had suffered burns in the car accident. My cat sees the water splashing up on the windshield behind the carving station, and he's thinking it looks like a good place to be at. Yeah, I agree with what you just said, James, that burns are absolutely the worst. I've usually been able to deal with pain in a, semi-complaining while it's extremely excruciating, but burns are one of those things that they're extremely painful. They're a different kind of pain, that's for sure. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. His I don't know who I was speaking with on his phone through text message, but they seemed extremely uh-oh, I just knocked everything down. I hope I didn't break anything. They seemed extremely expectant that he was going to be just fine. Um Talking about the types of stuff that he had survived previously and how he had dealt with that stuff, and that there's no way this was going to hold him down, sort of messages. So I'm hoping that's a little bit of an indicator that he's going to be a-okay. No, Felix. He's pushing on the back of the glass. No, get down. Get down. Hey, get. He doesn't understand because it just looks like so much fun, and now he's reaching through and he's trying to touch the tool behind the glass. He's super adorable. Except for the fact that he's getting super big. Oh, here he comes. He's probably going to get right in the way of the camera, even though, oh, I'm not on shot either. Let me see what I got to do to be on shot. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, gosh, you did get the virus. Me and my daughters, both her daughters, all battled it together. She got it from another employee at her job and then brought it home. That's horrible. I'm so sorry. I'm glad you're doing better. I have friends in Portland that are talking about how they still have lung issues. Or how long has this been going on for you? All right, up in there, I'm thinking fine tuning. this piece right here. Well, that's good. I'm glad it seems to be over for you in just a couple of weeks. It's the numbers are rising drastically in my area, and I found a place that I had purchased 211 P100 respirator, Honeywell North respirator filters from that liquidation store, and I'd paid like for all of them, I paid like $250 a piece for them. And I sold all of them on eBay for around $12.50 a piece. Really great profit. And I kept only about 12 of them. And now with all this stuff going on, I found a place that was selling the masks and for only like $11. So I have 2 new masks and about 12 new packs of respirator filters, which if the cases keep going up, then I'm wearing those out in public again because I know it does something for me. But it's not just people in my area that are not taking it seriously anymore. Like stores and stuff like that are not doing the same things they were just doing a couple of weeks ago. But then I live in the panhandle of Florida, so. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get much better than just a bronze out of that area right there. I was really thinking I'd get something else. Maybe I just need to switch to a tougher grit on that, though. Oopsie. Well, let's go check out this purple area up here. My problem is every time I have purple right on top, like that little piece is right there, it's gone by the time I get to polish. When it's directly on top, if there's like any layer in between it, not such an issue. But depending on how good the layers are, man, I've had so many problems with chasing other colors that it's a really good layer. Green, I might not even go for a purple. Might not. Ooh, burn my finger. Purple's definitely coming out though. Yeah, More Gems does YouTube videos, but they're not really YouTube videos for entertainment. They're YouTube videos so you can see what you're going to buy close up. But I like their videos. Although actually, now that I think about it, I think he did do a series on cutting stones too. But he's definitely right. Moriarty Gems is a cool place to check out their YouTube channel and possibly go and check out some of their stones. They might have something you want to purchase. I'm gonna have to buy some more pool noodles. Good thing it's starting to get that time of season again. Oh, I'm not on shot again. I need to move that camera down just a hair. Or maybe just make it a little bit wider. Probably be easier if I just make it a little bit wider. Well, when it's right on top like this, the trick is to not lose that purple. You know, when we have that purple right like that, that's the trick. The trick is to not lose that purple. What I've learned about these layers now, this is something that it took me a while of screwing up stones to figure this out. So if you don't know, this is something you're definitely going to want to understand. I shouldn't have moved that water. I should have just turned it off. So you see these layers, right? Like we have these. Now I want to zoom in again. Tight. I'm going to buy a remote for this camera just for this one reason right here, because I mean these shots are just beautiful, aren't they? Don't these stones look good, guys? I mean, compared to any of the other YouTube live streams I've done, like they just look fucking phenomenal, don't they? Like, doesn't it? Anyways, so you see these lines, right? These like iron lines. These are like the lines that the agate sort of formed in, and that's exactly pretty much what they are. So you have this little cap up here, right? And you've heard me say that fire agate forms like if you imagine you have a bowl of vanilla ice cream and you pour toppings on top, and you have your strawberry, and then you have your chocolate, and then you have your caramel or whatever. You know, obviously I didn't do that in the order most people put those toppings on each other, but you have those layers, and then you know those layers are going to be different thicknesses and covering different spots depending on where they dropped. The analogy is very, very accurate, especially with some color bars. So what you'll end up having is you've got this color, this purple right here, and you want it to run the whole stone, but it's probably not going to, because just like drips on ice cream of different toppings, they're going to be different thicknesses and not necessarily on the whole thing in certain areas, even though it got dropped on top of it. So one of the things that I've done to screw stones up by not understanding that philosophy is I would have a dip of color up on top that I didn't like as much as I thought that color I had down below. And I figure if I just go ahead and cut that color off at the top, that I would get to that color down below. And the thing is that color on top might be the only color that is in that little dip right there, that color below might not be on there because that might have been formed before this was formed. So you might not even get to a purple in that spot. And if you go and lose that color right there and then carve to the colors below it, then you might have a dead spot in your stone that you could have avoided just by leaving that color that you didn't appreciate very much on the top and then carving all of those other really pretty colors that you see down below. Does that make sense? It made sense when I was saying it. Just saying. Probably would have been a good 3-minute video. But live streaming and getting work done at the same time is better than feeling like I waste time on editing a video that barely anybody watches and then I just didn't get anything else done at the same time. This way, at least I feel like I'm I mean, I know I could already sell this window for a fair bit of money just because of that purple that's showing out and because nothing's been screwed up on it yet. It has either one very large stone or 2 stones, but here's something I don't recommend too. One of my prized possessions broke recently, and I'm not sure if it broke because I'd never looked at it under a 30-time magnification before, or if it broke because it had been mishandled at some point in time. But if you really treasure your fire agate, have it put in some soft metal. Have it put in silver, have it put in gold, because it is hard, but just like every other gemstone, if you drop it on something that is close to equally as hard or much larger and not quite as hard, it can just, fracture and shatter and not be what it was before. You might still have a gemstone, but it might not be the gemstone you really loved. I think it was like 2+ years ago the last time I touched this stone. Although I was really blown away that it was 3 years ago was when I was actually... I'm not on camera anymore. It's because I didn't back up. I was really blown away. It was 3 years ago when I was at the fire agate mine. Hey, Linda, how you doing? Sorry about that close-up, guys. This should be much better right here. I mean, now it looks so good on that screen that if I could get the angle to where I'm looking at it at exactly the same angle you guys are, then I could just carve using the giant screen in front of me, and then my eyes wouldn't have to focus so hard. Oh yeah, that purple's really starting to show up right now. But I'm trying not to put my head in there. I'm trying to get the angle of my body to match the angle of the camera so that what I see you guys see. and then it really makes it to where it's really great. Because if you guys see, like, it's almost there. Because, like, I'm looking at dead purple all along this section right here, and then all of that color showing up right there. So it's just a way better experience if you guys can actually see what I'm actually doing. But with this sort of tool, it's much more difficult. It's a bit easier with the wheels because they don't move. You know, my hands dodge all over the place. Here, say something else. I'll talk about it for 10 minutes. Uh-oh. I got a leak issue I got to fix. 1 second. I don't even think it's a leak. I think it's that the water travels down my elbow and then down my arm and then pools up in that one spot. Getting close to me needing to pull out a smaller tool that's more precise. Typically, these really fantastic metallic colors on Opal Hill Fire Agate are sitting on top of a bronze. And the moment you start to lose the really great color, it starts to turn into a yellow, bronze, orange. So I definitely don't want to lose any of those if at all possible. And all down in these crevices, this is like a really difficult stone to carve properly. But God, the color in it is absolutely. When you see them talking about imperial stones, this is exactly what they're talking about. Like I'm missing one great thing that could totally come through right now, and that's a blood red, like it's bleeding to death red. But I'm going to put one of my little itty bitty flame tips on here so I can draw a little bit better. Did anybody go and buy that quick release from Amazon for $15? It's not the first one that pops up. You got to go down scroll down the screen for it, but it's $15 and it's Amazon Prime. So I mean, yeah. Oh, I got to back it up a little bit again. No, stop recording, stupid ass thing. Fuck, I swear to God. You hit a button because your fingers are wet and everything gets all fucked up. Can't hit a button on accident. I mean, uh-oh, here comes Sheba. Sheba wants me to stop doing what I'm doing so she can lay on my lap and I'll pet her. Dang thing, man. Here we go. Trying to get myself in the proper position so you guys can see how I'm working. Gripping that thing too tight. One of my biggest issues is that I'll totally grab it too tight. Yay, Topaz is cool. Nope, wrong way. I didn't catch the brand. I just saw the price. They're all some Chinese named brand. Like they're not named after a name like we would know from gems and rocks and shit and stuff like that. It's like Yo Ho with like 2 O's in both words or something, some weird thing like that. But it was easily the cheapest one on there, and it looked just like the one I used to have that I bought from having a problem remembering the name of the company. Looks exactly like the one I bought from that company I did the video on with the inexpensive rotary tools. Got a nice red and green really showing up right there too. It's just getting rid of these lines of uncolorful iron without screwing the stone up or losing any other color is definitely one of the difficult parts sometimes. Oh, it's not focused. My bad. Should stay on it now. In these really tight crevices that have the color and stuff like that, like I really like this flame pointed, really small one. I mean, it's just as expensive as the other ones. So you're gonna spend like $30 on this little thing. It lasts longer than I thought. And I use it as sparingly as I possibly can to try and get in small lines and in small crevices. But it is absolutely needed when you're working on really fine pieces of fire agate. And I really believe that pieces of fire agate that have more dips and more crevices and more things like this in them, I think their value should go up because pieces of fire agate that are flat, like this edge right here, the carving time is way less than a piece that has a lot of undulation going on, if that's the proper word to use, in where the color area is. You know, with the more crevices and the more very large mountainous sort of bubbles and stuff you have sticking out of there, just in order to get them fully polished properly and ready for an actual piece of jewelry is a lot more work on the carver. Yeah, when those guys did their first YouTube video trying to the guys that did Prospectors is the guys that got them to start filming the Mount Ontario show again. And when he got them, pardon me for 1 second, guys, when he got them to start doing that show, I saw the first week that they posted the first episode. And when they posted the first episode, I contacted them and asked them if they were doing a YouTube channel. And he was like, "No, this is our pilot trying to get the show picked up." And then it sat like that for like a year and a half. And then they started producing more episodes, or they started putting out more episodes, whether they already shot them or not. But yeah, I definitely like Mount Antero. It's anything like that that's shot that professionally, we all want to watch. So this stone I'm working on right here, I'm almost back. This stone I'm working on right here, you guys know this was in that box, right? Like this was totally inside of that box that I put up for sale for 2,500. But I hadn't gone through the box since it had really been loaded, Like right before I started shooting that video, I'd done a little bit on it, but. And the autofocus is not locked on anymore. There we go. Should stay locked on now that I'm not going to be gone for a long period of time again. And if any of you are carving fire agate and you haven't bought any Deshine products yet, you're really doing yourself a disservice, man. I spent some money on some oil compounds, diamond compounds, and I went to use one of those the other day, and it was completely hard like plastic. Could not get it out of the tube. Would not work unless I ground it up and mixed it with some oil or something like that. That was the only way I was going to get that stuff to work. Yet all these years and just a little bit of water and Deshine still works like magic, like brand new. You cannot beat that stuff. You should at the very least have a super fine pallet, or not a pallet, but a container of their super fine soft powder. At the very least, that's what you should have in your collection of carving apparatuses, tools, compounds. I'm not on screen. Dang it, man. I get all comfortable in the wrong position. I'm not on screen. Someone made a pilot on a show about Montana sapphires. It was very well produced, but it seemed like nobody picked it up. It had a feel like Gold Rush. Yes, that was with my buddy Blaze and the other people that were in the area, and they only filmed a little bit out there. And yes, nobody did pick it up, but the guys that are out there are not convinced that the company that they were working with was, the right company to be doing that with. Anyways. So Blaze let me know that his contract has expired with those people that they shot that with, and I was welcome to come out there and do some videotaping, but that was before some other political stuff sort of got involved. Some people have gotten fully invested in the fight of good versus evil. Trying to draw this line at the same time, trying not to leave any tool marks. The flowing. I'm not on screen again. Dang it, man. It's not on screen this time. I'm about to kick myself in the leg hard. Yeah, I really don't foresee that one happening. I've talked to him a few times. He's a nice guy. We had some plans to do some stuff at one point in time, and then his management company decided to change the rules, and I couldn't agree to it. So we had a bit of a falling out. We haven't talked since then, which, it's fine, whatever. I hold no ill will towards the guy. Let him keep doing his thing. I'll do my thing. The only thing stopping me from creating fantastic content is money. That's the reality of it, because we all know that you got to survive, right? I have these ideas, and if I had money, I would have the ability to produce my ideas. And I'm not telling everybody what my ideas are anymore, because apparently even when I tell some people the ideas I have and they use them, they don't even want to admit that I even said that to them. So Alright, finally got that line out of that one section. I'm just making a ledge right here, to tell you the truth. That white line was such a pain in the neck. But I can see the color right below it right here, so I'm definitely going after that white agate and trying to get that line out of there. I don't like leaving a ledge right there yet at the same time. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to chase this white over here by the purple and see if underneath of it is turning purple. Because if it's not, then I'll just leave that white line and that'll be where I make the bottom. Nah, stone needs to be deeper. Scratch everything I just said. Yeah, the color definitely flows right under it. Caleko, if you get involved in that show, be careful. Those guys are very tough. I don't understand. I don't understand what you mean by those guys are tough. As in like physically tough, or in like physically scary tough, or as in like they work hard so they're tough? I don't get it. And we are talking about the crystal collector and whoever his crew is now, right? In that statement that you made. Now, if I had his viewership and his access, boy, I would be doing some different stuff than he's doing right now. But I'm not going to talk about what I would do. I'm just going to wait until I can do it. I'll keep working towards those goals. I'm going to put some more fire agate up tomorrow. You guys are going to buy some more. Ooh. I'm worried about that line right there, and I'm so focusing on that line, I'm forgetting while I sit there and burn this tiny little burr away that I have all of this great color area on the top that I really need to work properly too, because I don't have any other burrs that can fit into these areas and these nooks and these crannies, so I shouldn't just waste that burr on the side that might end up getting cut away using wheels when I finish the stone out. I should definitely go ahead and work inside of these crevices and expose the rest of the really nice color here. It's a better use of the diamonds. I want to go out and dig. I need to get my license back if I plan on taking my wheels. And I have offered opportunity to people to work with me and us take my wheels because they didn't, I don't think, even have like the ability. But they weren't ready, and the reality is I wasn't really ready either, even though I was making the offer. I need to take all of my bus apart, and I need to rewire the brakes, the turn signals. I need to rewire all of the lights. I just need to pull all of the lights that are on there and put brand new lights on it, maybe except for the headlights, which honestly, they're so 90s, they could use new headlights too. But I believe something in the brake light grounded out and fried all of the wires in there. I'm really convinced that that's what's wrong with it. And so I just need to go ahead and pull open the inside and run brand new wires. Get new taillights, get new headlights. They're so old anyways. Man, these little white lines are being such a pain in the ass in this one, I swear to God. I'm off screen again. No, I'm good. I'm not gonna go searching out places like that that are typically gonna end up wanting to own my content or whatever. If somebody wants to contact me, then sure, fantastic, great. But I'm not going to go and search out some place that might be doing something. I got contacted by the Discovery Channel to do a show in the wilds, and after talking to them, they had no idea what they were doing, and I was just, yeah. I would have been interested at that point in time to do almost anything they wanted, to tell you the truth. And right now, I would feel almost the same way if it wasn't necessarily taking and giving up whatever I've built. Because the problem is that a lot of these places now, they want to own you. And that was the problem with what happened with the That was what happened with the Royston turquoise mine dig I was supposed to do. That was what happened with the one of the sapphire mine digs I was supposed to do. That they couldn't even. I couldn't even be out there and record a video of myself, let alone of them, because of the deal they had. It would have broken their contract, and then they would have been in all kinds of ridiculous hot water for it. I would be happy to go out and do some digging videos. I just need to be able to actually do that. Have the ability to go out there and actually record and stuff. And I'm hesitant to put anything I do on anybody else that's not in for the same thing I am, meaning that I could see me and a YouTuber going out to create videos together. But if you're not a YouTuber, the last time I took somebody out to try and do what I do, all they did is keep me from doing what I do. That was the whole thing. Like they were not interested in what I was doing, and what I was wanting to do was going to be too difficult, and they were in control of how we got places, and so I just had to deal with it. And was not willing to put myself in those scenarios, Like, at least if I'm out there with a YouTuber and we're out in the bus and we're out in the wilds, he has the same agenda I do, and that at least adds when somebody's trying to get you to do something and it's going to benefit your overall agenda. It's a little bit different than when somebody's trying to get you to do something you don't give a shit about it. Well, I was into digging for gems and minerals when I'm watching you do it on TV for an hour or two. I'm not into it when I have to go out in the hot sun in 100-degree weather and hike with a backpack 4 miles uphill with all of my tools and then make 4 trips back with fucking 50-pound buckets of minerals. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people not into that. Good night, Debbie. Thanks for being here and keeping the conversation going. And I really thought I was going to cut this a lot faster, and I might have been able to if I would have used a little bit of a more aggressive grit, but not really big on losing the good colors on top because I went too hardcore on them right out the gate. I've done that before. Whoopsie. I mean, it definitely looks better than when I started. That is very true, D. Most people don't know what hard work it is. Which experience? I made 3 videos on Oregon Sunstone. Might have made 4. I made 4 videos on Oregon Sunstone. Which video? The first video, I thought I was being treated poorly, and I thought everything was weird, and then I found out later that part of the reason it was weird was because of miscommunication and because there's animosity at that area from freeloaders that come in that area or to that mine on other people's words to work and then barely do any work and expect a whole bunch of issues or a whole bunch of stuff and then leave the mine and talk smack about the owner and so they've had that sort of issue happen a lot at that place before I ever showed up. So I'm working this tiny little crevice you guys can't see. Hi, Sean. How you doing? Oh, you got acid burns? Sean is who I was talking about earlier, guys, with the car accident. Well, I'm glad you're doing better. I'm glad they're not that bad. Wish you wouldn't have gotten burnt, but the fact that you're back at home at the moment and saying hi on a live stream makes me feel much better than when I sent you a text message today. You want to feel like a douchebag? Send somebody a text message about fire agate and then find out they got in a car accident. It's like not. It's like I'm calling about rocks and this dude might be dead right now. You know, the good thing about these live streams is even when I think it's going to be quick and the stones are not quick, they really do give you the idea of what you're going to be dealing with. You know that people don't cut $1,000 pieces of fire agate in just minutes. I mean, it does happen where a miner will have a piece of fire agate drop out of after being cleaned and just be amazingly crazy colors, but you know that's few and very very far between, even for the miner. Like every couple of years occurrence maybe. I mean, I'm still pretty sure that that one piece of my buddy John from Slaughter Mountain showed me was maybe the only piece like that he's actually ever mined in his lifetime. I mean, it was so crazy. Now knowing what I know about fire agate and the color of blue and how that thing had that big window of that. I'm gonna fix this goddamn thing, I swear to God. Wait, it had that big window of magnification on it, like it's super rare. I've still never seen anything like it, and there's not even a picture of that stone anywhere on the internet. But he had told me that there are some collectors that don't want their prized stones, you know, publicized. They want it in their collection, not pictures of it on the internet. Oh, I'm going for that sidebar again. Just realized I'm doing that instead of going for all those colors that are on top. It's nice green rolling down the edge. Some of these crevices are so fine. I question whether even the point of this thing is going to get in there without losing the color in the crease. Let me give you guys a close-up so you can see what I'm... So got all this fantastic color all along this face, and yet I still have little divots of white cream that are in it. And whenever I go to just polish and expect to polish that kind of stuff out, it never goes away. I always have to get rid of it with my 600. I'll just work it and work it with a 12 and just end up ruining a soft burr typically. Although, I think I might see a problem. I think I might see a break. I think there might be a break in the stone running right through here. You guys see it? You go up right there. Can you see that line running through the color right there? That might be a break running right through that color bar. It definitely looks like it. It might just be a crease, but that might actually be a break. I'm gonna grab my little magnifying ocular thing. Let me see if that is actually a break. I've had a few stones. I can't tell. Even with this, I can't tell. Maybe it's still too wet. I think it's a crease. I think it's just a crease in the color in the stone. I think that's what it is. I hope that's what it is. There's nothing worse than going and spending tons and tons of hours on something and then finding out it's broken. Tractor trailer 9,000 gal rever. Wish I had a cam. Man, take clothes and swims in creek. Cops, though I lost it. Tractor trailer 9,000 gallon rear-ended. Wish I had a camera. Man takes clothes and swims in the creek. Cops, though I lost it. I sort of think I understand what you're saying, but only sort of there, Sean. Yeah, definitely. Everybody, if you don't have dash cameras, you need to get dash cameras. That's a main thing. All of us, anytime we're driving nowadays, should be driving with dash cameras. Not just for the person that you might get in an accident with, but also because of police interactions. Because nobody is safe from a tyrannical police officer. And I'm not saying that you're ever going to meet one, but it happens way more nowadays than it even used to happen before. I don't understand why, but I swear that it does. Oh, D, how do I get down into the creases when I'm polishing? Diashine. The only way. Also, toothpicks and, oh, I forgot to back up. Diashine and then toothpicks. Because with a toothpick, you can really force it down into the groove. So I just keep putting Diashine on a toothpick, and I'll just keep going down into that groove until the Diashine polishes it. My biggest issue is not even the polishing. Yeah, man, I tell you what, when I look at that color right there, I can see that the color has shifted from the break. I'm still convinced this thing has a break running in it. I am convinced, but I'm almost convinced that it has a break running in it that is naturally healed. That's what I think I have going on right here. Anyways, yeah, Diashine is absolutely the go-to. Number one, Diashine. And then putting Diashine on a piece of wood you can really cram into a crevice and work it back and forth. That's the other way. Diashine is really, really worth the money. It's really worth it to have it in your arsenal of all of the tools that you'll use. Ouch, didn't mean to run that into there. I do have some opals. I am going to be recording a video. I'm not sure if it's going to be live streaming or editing, but I do have at least four opals from Australia to go ahead and rub down. Use more. Um, are you using just one level of Diashine? It sort of depends too. Like say you have a scratch in the crevice that's an 80 grit, and you can't get to it with any of your other burrs. Well, I mean, you're not going to leave a scratch as an 80 grit and not be able to get it to your burrs. So if you can get it to a 600, that should be something like this. You should be able to get it down to a 600. Then the thing is that you might have to just like take a toothpick and take a very sharp knife and whittle a point and then put your Diashine wet. It needs to be, you can't let your Diashine dry out too much or else your wood will just skate across the top of the Diashine and Diashine won't do anything. Diashine has to be wet enough to move, but not so wet that you're spraying it off the stone. And then just keep working the Diashine into that crevice using the wood. Like that's really the best piece of advice I can give you on that. That's how I've done it, and I mean I've always been surprised with how well the Diashine works. It's never not surprising to me what a great product that is compared to all the other products I've tried. And don't get me wrong, I'm no Richard. I haven't tried like every product out there or anything like that, but and gosh, look at how great. Oh, you got too wide now. I gotta get a remote control. Look at how bright that nub just turned. That nub just went from copper to super neon green. Like, I can't stress enough, too, if you really want your fire agate to pop, you have to try and figure out what the shape is of the fire in there. You know, if you already know it's round and the shape it is, you want to keep that as much as possible because your color is really going to show up at all angles if you have that contour that the color is naturally at its brightest. Oh, I'm off camera again. Shoot. How you doing, Sonny Jim? Ah, shoot. I gotta come back thing. There we go. A little bit too wide. Here we go. I mean, goodness, that right there, that green is so bright. Definitely getting lots of colors poking out. Yeah, the hand grip, a pool noodle. But you did miss the part where I was telling everybody they should go and buy a quick release hand grip, where you won't need the pool noodle, at least for 330 seconds burrs, because they are super cheap right now from some seller on Amazon Marketplace. You can get them delivered for really, really cheap. Get it. Gosh, that green is peeking out at me so hard. You see it right there? Like it's peeking out so hard. Like that is just that's the type of color that you want everywhere. Just that kapowie. Holy smokes. I'm always scared to chase it though. I am. I'm scared to chase it because I've lost color in areas. And then it becomes one of those, well, I would have rather had something more than nothing. I'm definitely going to have to order more of these little burrs right here because this one's about had it. I'm totally finishing it out on this stone right here. Yeah, when you get the really, really top grade color on fire agate, it definitely will compare with black opal. If when type of things. I wonder if I keep carving on these insides right here that it's almost impossible for you guys to see there. If I keep carving on that inside, if it's going to turn that same green as that, or if it's just not. But I mean, the colors in there is so dim because of the way that it's concaved in there that unless I turn it green like that anyways, it wouldn't matter. Like, I could just go ahead and cut it off basically if it doesn't go green. But if it does go green, then it'd have that monster reflection off the inside. It'd be absolutely amazing. I hate wasting any of this burr, so I have so little of it left. Yeah, it's there. I'm starting to see it poke out a little areas. You guys can't see it. Hello, Anita. How have you been? Stupid thing, stay. There. I'm gonna get it, I swear. I'm trying to make you guys motion sick. I'm working really hard to make you guys motion sick. Ah, goodness. I just can't get it as tight as I want it to and keep it on screen while I'm carving deep in thought at the same time for some reason. It just doesn't want to do that for me. Yeah, I think if I keep going, I can get more green out of it on this section at the very least. Oh, scratch that. It was totally coming out of there, but it also was extremely thin and just broke immediately. Not necessarily a bad thing. Not necessarily a bad thing at all. Are you asking how I'm doing? Anita, it's me. You know there's nonstop drama. That thing breaking off might have been perfect. Might have been exactly what I needed, was that little piece to break off just like that. And actually, I'm going to put on a bigger piece, save some of this point. Alrighty. Nah, maybe not. That's not turning out the way I thought it was going to. Probably 'cause it's right on that edge like that. Ah, dang it. Running across the color I definitely don't want to run across. Tell you the truth, I think I'm done messing with that on the side anyways. Because even from the top, it's not going to expose any more color, really. I'm just going to end up taking that stone to that spot. The one thing I hate about the inverted cones is that they're not very forgiving. When you make a bad move with an inverted cone, it leaves a scar that you have to work out of there. It's one reason I really like working with blunted tips, is because blunted tips, you can create those curving motions and stuff like that, and you don't leave scars, or not as, they're much more forgiving. But for certain drawing areas and making lines and stuff like that and getting into crevices and creases, they're definitely really good. Oh yeah, you must have missed when we talked about just chasing the purple color and ending up with a way worse stone than if you accept the color that's there. My line of purple is really just right here, and it's right on top of everything else. So if I just go cutting through everything hoping I'm going to get purple, I'm probably going to lose the colors that I have. So I'm definitely not going to do that. I am, however, going to put on a more blunted tip and even this stone out a little bit, and then I'm probably going to call it a night. How long have we been here? 2 hours? About 2 hours. Still some lines and this upper nub here that I haven't quite gotten the way I want to. And then that super bright green right there really makes me question if I shouldn't be cutting more off of some of these areas and going for a startlingly bright color below, because I mean that green is otherworldly green. Sure is, it sure is. This thing right here is killing me. I think I need to put in a more aggressive grit on there and take that edge out. Yeah, I do. Executive decision. Excuse me. How many people we got in the room, guys? Not that it matters, obviously. Could have 2. I'm still going till this stone is ready. Well, until I'm ready, at least. I cannot wait until I get that other hand piece here. Then I'm just going to have 2 burrs, or I'm going to have 2 pieces running at the same time. One of them for a quick release, 330 seconds, and the other one's going to be for the bigger pieces. Ah, shoot. I don't want to slip. This thing's hell of aggressive. One big slip and I lose too much color. I think that green's under there, though. It's not very pretty right here. I have a feeling that green runs this whole thing. I think I'm just going to go ahead and risk it on this back edge over here. And if I can't find that green, then I won't go for it anymore. Yep, and that's where I start thinking that I'm just going to take what I can get. Because when I go through this edge, I'm not getting anything else great. So, I mean, I might have some really great greens in one section, not another. Oh, man, look what happened to my lighting. I didn't realize that was all in. Everything's all in the camera shot. Did not realize that. So, yeah, it's got some yellow and some red and some green and some purple. And it's got a stone here, and a stone here. So I'm going to lop that off and have a nice little stone on that edge. And then this is going to be a much larger stone that's going to have some great colors in it. Some really bright colors in it, as long as I don't screw them up anymore. And I think I'll bring you guys back another time for that. William, my man, making all the purchases yesterday. Thank you very much for your business. I'm going to get everything in the mail tomorrow. And anybody else that was interested in some fire agate, I am going to be posting some more stuff in the store tomorrow. Let's see if I can get my mouse working so I can switch the camera. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to be putting some more stuff in the store for sale tomorrow. Some windows that I cut today. I'm going to cut some more windows and put those in the store tomorrow. This stone I might just finish out and keep. Not sure. So thank you for being here. We went for what, 2 hours? Right about 2 hours. My neck does not hurt near as bad as it has all the other times because I'm not having to stretch around equipment. I've got the equipment moving around me for once. So that's great. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for checking it out. Buy some fire agate. Support your boy in any way you definitely can. And yay, Sean's not hurt. We're all excited about that. Thank you guys for being here. I will have a video up for you tomorrow, and we'll have another live stream soon. Keep your eyes posted on your notifications. You never know what I'm going to be doing and when I'm going to do it and what the hell's going on at this point, because I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with me. I don't. I got to figure something out, though. That's for sure. Buy fire agate. I love y'all for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.